What is up, guitar legends? Sam Wild here. We're looking at Late in the Evening today by Paul Simon. You're going to need a capo one if you want to play it in the original key, but once you've learned this with me, you can take the capo off if you want to take it down one key, or you can even just keep moving the capo up. I don't know, he plays it in upper key sometimes when he does it live, and sometimes he does it in the original key. Right. Now, there are 3 chords in this whole song. Alright, so let's take a quick look at these. We have E major. Just your basic E major chord is fine for every variation that we're going to look at today. The second chord we have is A. Now, you can play it like this, or you can play it like this, and you can sort of bar the first finger, which means you have more fingers spare to do the optional extensions, right? So it's just one finger kind of push, that top segment of the finger becomes flat when it's pushed in, right? My thumb is behind the neck, kind of squeezing it in. Okay, so that's a little bit more difficult than just having one finger per string like this, 2, 3, and 4, but it does allow for more extension options. Okay, now the second chord is B. You can play B here with an extension as well, but if I were you, I would just move up here. It's on the 8th fret, or 7 from the capo, 8th fret here. That's where it begins. And you don't have to play the whole bar chord, you can just try and play these top 4 strings here that you're pushing in. And this particular shape means you can do the actual extension that is included. But I'm going to show you both alternates here for the extensions. Alright, so 3 chords, E, A, B. All played like this, E, A, B. Now, every single chord has an extension that you can add on in the song. You can hear that. Right, dun, dun, dun. And it's the same on the A chord. Okay, now you notice in the song someone actually just plays this little riff here. But if it's just you and a guitar, it's going to sound a bit empty doing that, which is why we want to get the whole chord. And we just add the extension on, right? Now don't worry about the rhythm yet, we'll get to the rhythm. So the extension options you have are bringing the pinky across to fret 5 on the D string. And that's going to block off the other strings at the bottom, but that's okay. Now this is quite a big stretch. Okay, I have small hands, so I find this fairly tricky. You'll notice I have to drop the wrist right down, and I bring the elbow over to help really stretch that across. Okay, if you find this too difficult though, you don't have to do the exact thing that's played on the record. Okay, you can actually just play, you can do a sus4 shape. Can you hear how that still sounds good? So to do a sus4 shape, you just bring the pinky down here, much easier, there's no stretch. Okay, so there are your options. You got the sus2 or the sus4, right? Now for the A chord, we're going to have some options as well. If you want to do the easy version with this shape, then you can do a sus4 shape. Again, sus4 is the easy option. So you just bring the pinky across on the B string. Okay, that sounds nice. Again, I'll show you the rhythm in a second here, just worry about the shapes for now. Okay, so the other option, remember we had first finger barred, which means there's no E string, because that's going to be blocked off, but that's fine. But now we have the option to play a sus2 shape. We can even do both, a sus4 and sus2. Okay, so the sus2 note is here on the 5th fret of the G string. Okay, that's what's played in the actual song. So you can add that. You have the option to add the sus4 as well, which sounds nice. I tend to use pinky and third finger to add those on. Or you can just do one or the other. You can just do sus4, or you could just do sus2, which is how it sounds in the track. Now for the B shape, you can do the same thing with the A chord if you want. You can play it here, and you can add a sus4. Alright, personally I don't think this is much different from going up here. If you can stretch that pinky across to the 12th fret on the D string, then you can get how it's played in the song. You can get that sus2 and do it that way, right? So the pinky reaches across to the 12th fret. Or you can play it down here and do a sus4 instead of a sus2, okay? So again, each chord you've got E major chord, and the extension options are sus2 or sus4. Then we have the A chord with a sus4 or a sus2. And again, you could do both on this chord if you want. Right, then we have B, and you can do sus4 here, or you can do sus2 here. Alright, so honestly, it doesn't matter what you do, it fits the song, it sounds great, so whatever feels comfortable for you is the best option for you, okay, because that's going to make it more fluid when you start playing. The rhythm is quite tricky, so you want the chords to feel nicer. Now, I just want to point out, guys, you don't have to play the extensions. You can just play the chords like so. Right, an A. And B can be. Alright, especially if you're trying to sing, it's quite difficult to play the extensions and sing and do all of this at once. Okay, so you can just play the chords if you want to. That is an option. For those of you that want to take your playing to the next level, make sure you sign up to my premium membership website. You'll gain access to all my backing tracks, all of my lessons, and I'll teach you how to improvise, solo, and play advanced chords. Enjoy the rest of your lesson, guys. Alright guys, let's take a look at the rhythm. Okay, the rhythm is quite tricky because we're working in 16th notes, which means we have 1 E and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, all alternating. And the tempo is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... It's quite fast. So our hand is doing this for pretty much the whole song. You'll notice it's mainly in the wrist. There's not much arm movement, apart from maybe on beats 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So make sure you can kind of do this alternating strumming. Just with scratches is fine for now. Make sure that you can do this and it sounds pretty smooth, right? Down, down. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... We can do this on our E major chord to begin with. Alright, just get used to doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Right, just keep everything nice and loose. Okay, try not to tense up when you do this. Just really try and keep it all loose and floppy. Okay, you don't have to hit every string, every strum. Okay, sometimes you just getting those bass notes, particularly in this song, right? And that's fine. Now, we want to accent certain parts of this rhythm, and this is why it's so tricky if you're not used to this. Okay, we want to accent the 1 E, we want to accent beats 2, we want to accent beats 3, and we want to accent beats 3 and da. Okay, so it's going to go da ba 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 da ba da da ba ba da da Right. So you can hear I keep quite quiet. My strumming is very quiet. 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and Now, if you really struggle with this, you can just do it super slowly. So we can go 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E, the 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Now you notice I add the extension on beats 3 and then I take it off on that final accent that we do on the upstroke, right? Right. On, off, 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 on, off, 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 on, Right, it's the same with every chord. Now the final thing we want to do to make this rhythm sound really awesome is to add a slap on beats 2 and 4. Okay, now this is tricky when you're playing such a fast rhythm with accents. Okay, so you don't have to do this. I would make sure that the basic rhythm sounds pretty good before you do this. Right, but if I add in slaps on beat 2 and 4, bear in mind the slap is still a downstroke. Right, but I bring the hand into the string just for that one strum. Right, this is what I'm doing. I'm just on the downstroke, I bring my hand in. Instead of leaving it off for all the other strums, I bring it in. You can see my hand kind of turns in just for that one strum. Okay, it's just subtle. It's not like it's turning like that. Okay, it's just that it's just coming into the strings. Okay, it's very subtle movement, just so that the scratch sound happens. Right, kind of like you were gonna palm mute, right? Because it's still a strum, but because the hand's touching the strings now very lightly, you get a scratch sound as well. You hear how it sounds much better now. Alright, so pause the video, spend a lot of time working on this rhythm and trying out the different chord variations to see which ones you like. Alright, when you're ready, you can hit the play button. We're going to go through the structure now. Okay, this part's really simple. Alright, once you've got these 3 chords down, it's really easy to now get through the song. Okay, it's just getting used to playing that in the first place. That's the hard part. Alright, so for the intro, we're going to have E for 4 bars. Then we'll do A for 2, and then E for 2 again. Alright, then we have A for 2 again, E for 2 again. Then we'll do B for 2, and then E for 2. Okay, so that's the intro section. So let's try that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then A, then E, then A again. Then we'll go to our B shape, and back to E. Okay, then we're going to go into the first verse. Alright, now the verse section here is going to happen 3 times in a row. Okay, it's very long. For the verse, we have A for 3 bars, which is unusual, and then E for 2 bars. Okay, so we usually would have sets of 4 bars, don't we, in songs, but here we've got 5 bars total. Then it comes back around again, A for 3 bars, E for 2 bars. Right, then to finish the verse, we have B for 2, and then E for 2. So let's try that from A, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now to E. That is twice. A again. One more. Then E twice. Then B twice. E twice. Okay, then it happens 3 times, right? So that verse happens 3 times. Once we get through that, we're going to have an instrumental section. Okay, the instrumental section is almost the same as the verse, but we don't have the A chord for 3 bars now. Okay, it's a more regular system of 2 bars. Okay, once we get through the instrumental, we have another verse, but just the 1 verse this time. Instead of 3, it's just 1. All right, then we go into another instrumental section. Okay, so really straightforward song, that's almost the end of it. Now for this second instrumental, there's actually just percussion happening to begin with for 4 bars. So what we can do is we can just do some scratches by resting the fingers here, and we can just, the rhythm that we've been playing, we can just play that. So just hear that in your head when you're doing this. Okay, it's just the chord rhythm. So we do the scratches for 4 bars. And then it comes into the chord progression. Alright, now this instrumental it's kind of like the intro. In fact, it's exactly the same as the intro. E for 4 bars, right? Then A for 2, E for 2, same as the intro. Again, A for 2, E for 2 again, and then to finish it, B for 2, E for 2. Right, so this instrumental is the same as the intro. Okay, then the whole song just fades out on the E major chord. You just keep playing it, and the song fades out gradually. Alright guys, there's one more thing I want to show you. I know some of you might want to know how to play the actual riff. Right. So I just want to show you that quickly. Alright, if you have a look at the tab, similar to the rhythm, we're going to have to move to our 16th note rhythms. 1E under, 2E under, 3E under, 4E under, 1E under, 2E under. So you have to be able to essentially do this constantly, right? Because we're going to have ghost notes basically. Can you see my hand constantly moving here? Now, you're not playing every single strum, are you? The hand's just moving, right? If I played every note, it would sound silly, right? But if you keep the wrist moving, it means that the upstrokes will always be in the right place, downstrokes always in the right place, and you're just feeling the music constantly, all right? Now, we're gonna play down, up, like that. So we play the bass note, E string, and then we come up on the A string. Right, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. The first finger is here, 2nd fret, and it moves down from the A string to the D string. So just practice that. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Keep this moving though. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Now we'll add a down, up here. So 3rd finger is going to be 4th fret on the D string. 1st finger still here, fret 2. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Now you'll notice when I'm not playing a note, I'm trying to block the strings so that they're not ringing out. Right, I'm trying to keep my hand here covering as many strings as possible, so I don't accidentally play a wrong note, right? Okay, I'm also keeping my hand here right near the strings. So this part here, it's right near the strings. It's almost sounding like a palm mute effect. Can you hear that? I'm not making it loud. Okay, it sounds a bit messy if you do that. So bring the hand resting on the strings here. It softens everything up. It means you have to hold the pick a bit harder, and you have to pick a bit harder as well. Like play the strings a bit more firmly, but it sounds way less messy. Gives it a nice effect. And you just have a lot more control over it, right? So hand against the strings here, just sitting there. Right, now we do the same thing for the A string. Everything's just going to move down a fret now. Back up. Okay, so the A string's the same. When we get to the A chord, we just move everything down a fret, right? The B chord, however, we are going to have to do something different. If you get like a B power chord here, so that final note, you can play here, fret 2 on the B string, or here, 7th fret on the G string. Sorry, I mean 2nd fret from the capo, right? But over here, it's either 7th fret or 6th from the capo, right? It doesn't matter, it sounds the same. Do it however you want, right? As long as you play the notes and the right rhythm is fine. Alright guys, that is everything. Okay, the play along's coming up, so you can try and do the song with me now. If it feels too fast, you can slow it down, remember. Just hit that settings cog in the YouTube player. Go to playback speed 0.75. Right, it might sound a little bit odd, but it's just so you can play to the slower rhythm. It just makes it so much easier to play in a sort of a tidy, concise way, especially if you're more of a beginner. Okay, then when you kind of get used to the muscle memory, and it's there, you can then bring it back up to full speed. If you found this lesson helpful in any way, guys, please give it a thumbs up, a like, make sure you subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon too. Alright, see you in the next lesson, guys. Good luck with the play along. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.